All right. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a very, very quick interview webinar regarding nutrition, and we are here to celebrate National Nutrition Month. So I've got a quick presentation I want to show you that can help you take away some really good tips on how to add more fruits and vegetables to your diet and how to really kind of balance out your diet with some quick tips. So I'm just going to take a minute here to make sure that everything is working and that everybody can see me. And then here in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, hopefully. All right. All right, here we go. So it's March 2019, and every year the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the world's largest organization of food and nutritional professionals, celebrates National Nutrition Month. And the focus is on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits, which is great because now the weather is maybe starting to get a little bit warmer. So we can start thinking about more healthy fruits and vegetables in spring and getting out there and moving around. So let's start here with the objectives of our quick webinar this morning. Today's presentation is going to focus on the bigger picture by reviewing how even small changes add up and can help us to get started with improving our health. So at the end of today's session, each of you are going to be able to name three ways to meet your daily fruit and vegetable goals. Describe how your plate compares to my plate, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, and identify how you can be physically active in ways that fit your lifestyle. So let's talk about my plate. You might have heard of this. It's evolved and changed over the years. They taught us this way back in grade school, but it's a really, really good guide for how to eat a balanced, healthy diet. It helps you develop a healthier eating style, and it is also known as an eating pattern and includes all the foods and beverages that you need to eat and drink. My plate divides the meal into 5 food groups. This helps us make better food choices and build a balanced meal. The 5 food groups include fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, foods, and dairy. Using my plate to find your healthy eating style now will help you build a healthy eating pattern over time. So research has shown that healthy eating patterns, which include the recommended amounts from each of the food groups, can have a positive effect on our health. For example, eating healthy patterns have been associated with a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, also known as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, some types of cancer, and overweightness and obesity. An eating pattern that is higher in vegetables and fruits has been associated with a reduced risk of several chronic diseases, including heart disease. While all food groups are important and contribute to important nutrients, today we're going to be emphasizing fruits and vegetables, which my plate recommends should make up about half of our plate at every meal. Sadly, many Americans don't get enough servings of produce. It is estimated that only 25% of people in the U.S. include adequate amounts of vegetables and fruits. Vegetables and fruits provide vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So examples of that include vitamin C, folate, potassium, magnesium, and beta-carotene. All of these have important functions in the body and help to maintain or improve our health. A variety of different colored produce is recommended in order to obtain the different nutrients they provide. Whole fruits and vegetables are also good sources of dietary fiber, and all forms count: fresh, frozen, canned, and dried. Produce is also low in calories, depending on how it's prepared, of course. For this reason, including more vegetables and fruits may help with weight management, especially if they are substituted for other high-calorie foods. Fruits and vegetables are also a great resource in the kitchen. Fruits are naturally sweet and can help with the reducing sources of added sugars. Vegetables can be used to enhance the flavor and texture of foods, and at the same time, expand the variety of the foods that we eat. Everyone's nutrition needs are a little bit different. So our age, our gender, our activity levels are all factors that can influence how much of the different food groups we need to consume throughout the day. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, for most people, this amounts to 1 to 2 cups of fruit and 1.5 to 3 cups of vegetables. And that's every day. In addition to the daily targets for vegetables, there are also weekly recommendations for subgroups, including dark green vegetables, red and orange vegetables, beans and peas, starchy, and other types. People who are more physically active have higher calorie needs. So the amounts of fruits and vegetables recommended by them may be higher. So you can go to the MyPlate website, which is www.choosemyplate.gov for more information if you're a little bit more active and you need to adjust things a little bit differently. Including fruit is a great way to satisfy a sweet tooth while helping you to meet your goals for dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fresh fruits can make a great grab-and-go option when they're in season. But frozen and canned and dried fruits that don't have added sugars are also very nutritious options. If you want to add fruit throughout the day, there's a couple of different things that you can do. You can add fruit to oatmeal. So apples, bananas, berries, and raisins can all really make yummy additions. Try topping waffles or pancakes with fruit instead of syrup. Fresh fruit works well if you want a firmer texture, or try heating some frozen cherries or peaches for a very hot topping. Slice up fresh fruit for your sandwich instead of jelly. So peanut butter and banana is a popular combination because it also works well with berries and apples. Consider a fruit and cheese plate the next time you're entertaining guests instead of chips and dip. Play around with some smoothie combinations. They can be made to please a variety of tastes, such as tropical flavors with pineapple or classics like berries. Snacks and desserts are also other opportunities to add a serving of fruit. So, for example, you can have a cup of berries with a little bit of whipped cream. 100% frozen fruit popsicles are great, especially for kids. They love those. Frozen fruit dipped in a small amount of chocolate. Or a combination of fruit and low-fat yogurt, such as parfaits, or a baked apple topped with Greek yogurt. While fruits add some sweetness to your plate, vegetables can also give your food extra flavor and texture. So as I mentioned earlier, my plate categorizes vegetables into 5 subgroups. So there's dark green, red and orange, beans and peas, starchy, and what they call quote unquote other. Eating a variety of vegetables is important because they provide different nutrients. Choosing an assortment of veggies can also prevent boredom and help you find new foods that you can enjoy. If there's a particular vegetable you don't care for, that's okay. Don't let it stop you from trying others. There are many other varieties waiting for you to try, as well as different ways to prepare them. So vegetables work well in a variety of hot and cold dishes. They also make a great snack or a side dish. Many vegetables can be eaten raw. You can grill them, steam them, or roast them. They can be eaten on their own as a side dish or combined into a recipe for the main meal. Raw veggies can add crisp textures to salads and sandwiches or make an acceptable substitute for chips. Try raw slices of cucumber and radish or celery sticks next time and dip it into salsa or some hummus. My favorite snack right now is celery sticks with hummus. It's really, really good for you. And it tastes great too. The vegetables can also add a depth of flavor to foods when they're cooked. Heating causes some of their juices to be released, so when they combine with other ingredients, new flavors are created. For example, garlic and onions, my favorites, are frequently sauteed and used in recipes to flavor foods. Potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and beets can be used to add earthy flavors to recipes, or seasoned and roasted as a starchy side dish. Baby carrots provide a satisfying crunch, and cherry or grape tomatoes are often bursting with sweet flavor. Tomatoes are the base of salsa as well as pasta sauce. More recently, cauliflower has become popular as a mashed side dish or an ingredient in pizza crust. The possibilities are endless. Another great thing about vegetables is they're versatile. They can be used in many different types of dishes and are used all over the world, which means they work well in any type of cuisine. So there are many ways that you can start to increase your vegetable intake. This may include adding extra vegetables to soups or stews, or mixing in vegetables such as broccoli or cauliflower to macaroni and cheese. Lettuce, tomato, and onion usually work well on sandwiches, but so can shredded carrots, sliced radish, or chopped celery. And mushrooms, peppers, and summer squash, such as zucchini, make for really colorful kebabs that you can combine with meat or chicken. Try experimenting with different colored vegetables and shape. The color is really, really important. Depending on what you're eating, veggies can be shredded, sliced, diced, or even minced. So you can kind of sneak them in to the dishes if your kids are not too terribly excited about the increase in vegetables. Fresh or dried herbs and seasonings can also influence the flavor of vegetable dishes and help to lower salt intake. Vegetables can still play an important part when eating out, but you may have to be creative by asking for veggies in place of other items. For example, restaurants offer a side salad in place of French fries. You can go to the Academy's website, www.eatright.org, and get some more healthy tips on how to eat in restaurants there as well. There's also a lot of nutritional tip sheets available on the National Nutrition Month's website. So there's a sheet that's specifically called 20 Ways to Enjoy More Fruits and Vegetables. I'm going to go ahead and post that on my blog and on my Facebook page later today. But that website is www.eatright.org/NNM, which stands for National Nutrition Month. And you can grab some of those quick cheat sheets on that website. So it might seem kind of challenging at first, but if you start small and you start slow, those small changes are going to start to add up. Consider the foods you normally eat and see where extra fruits and vegetables might be able to fit in. Start with one meal at a time if that's easier for you. Another option would be to focus on including fruits and vegetables as snacks more often or in place of other less healthy foods. Although we focused a lot on fruits and vegetables today, the other three My Plate food groups are also really, really important. Dairy products, such as low-fat or fat-free milk, yogurt, and cheese, provide protein and vitamins and minerals, such as calcium, vitamin D, and potassium. Vitamin D is very, very important. A lot of us could be running low on vitamin D and experience some fatigue, and we don't even know what's causing it. So adding these foods in that are higher in vitamin D can help us as well. So check the nutrition fact labels for good sources of these these nutrients when you're choosing your foods. The grains group includes whole grains and refined grains, which are both sources of carbohydrates. Many refined grains are enriched with vitamins and minerals, but whole grains also provide dietary fiber. At least half the grains we eat daily should be from whole grain sources. So examples of this can include whole wheat bread, brown rice, and oatmeal. Protein foods provide nutrients that are important to our health and include the B vitamins and minerals like iron and zinc. So by varying your protein foods by choosing leaner sources, such as round steaks or roasts, you can use skinless poultry, fish and shellfish, eggs, beans, nuts, and seeds. And this is obviously if you are not a vegan, and we can get into more details about that. So, as mentioned earlier, the recommended amounts from each of the food groups can vary depending on your age, your gender, your height, your weight, and your activity level. And again, reference to the choosemyplate.gov website. They have a site on there that says get your My Plate plan, and they can actually provide a meal plan there for you. So I'm going to post that up to the website and Facebook page later today as well. So now we have reviewed the 5 My Plate food groups. So let's spend a little bit of time discussing how your plate compares to it. So I want you to think of a typical meal that you ate recently. You could have done it at home while you were eating out, or perhaps while your kids were at school. How many food groups did it include? Did fruits and vegetables make up half the plate? Were there any food groups missing? And are there any changes you want to make in the future? So let's spend some time now focusing on the importance of being active. We've covered all the food. Now we want to get into a little bit about how we can be more active, because honestly, we cannot have one without the other. When it comes to health, eating right and being physically active go hand in hand. Good nutrition provides the fuel and nutrients that we need to function, and it can help motivate us to be more active. The benefits of being more active are numerous, and some can really be immediate. No matter what your age is, everyone from a preschooler to an older adult can benefit from being physically active. If you're currently inactive, however, make sure you check with your doctor concerning increased physical activity, especially if you have any underlying conditions. Children and adolescents can improve bone and heart health with activity. Adults can reduce their risk of at least 8 types of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Older adults can reduce their fall risk, and women who are pregnant may reduce their risk of postpartum depression. People of all ages who are active may also benefit from improved cognitive function, and that means better brain health. The latest physical activity guidelines have even found that some benefits can happen with as few as 5 minutes of activity, whereas other benefits are going to be realized over time. So these kind of benefits include improved mood, feeling more energized, as well as getting better sleep, increased focus and concentration, reduced blood pressure, and improved blood sugar control. So there is a Move Your Way website that also includes fact sheets and videos for kids and adults to help you get started. That website is health.gov/move your way. And I'll include that when I share the notes from all of this later. So let's talk about some of the different types of activities that we can do. They offer different benefits, especially depending on the age group that you're in. So let's look at aerobic activity. It's anything that gets your heart rate up. This can include vigorous activities such as running, swimming laps, or jumping rope. It can also include moderate intensity activities such as brisk walking, bicycling, or ballroom dancing. Muscle strengthening activities are those that usually make the muscles work against some type of resistance. Typical activities like this are lifting weights or doing push-ups, but it may also include other activities that create heavy work for the muscles. A third category that deserves some attention are bone strengthening activities. These type of activities are specifically recommended for children and adolescents because they're still at an age when they're building more bone tissue. Many aerobic and muscle strengthening activities also help to build upon bone strength, such as hopping, skipping, and jumping. For older adults, balance training activities are recommended as a way to strengthen some muscles and reduce the risk of falls. Flexibility activities are also important and can help maintain range of motion in joints. There's a lot of activities, dancing, yoga, different kinds of sports, include all of these different types of physical activities while working on different muscle groups. And what they're called is multi-component physical activities. The type of physical activity we do is just one part of the equation. The other factors to consider are the intensity and how much physical activity we get. So the recommendations for physical activities vary slightly, again, depending on your age group. So for children ages 3 to 5, they should engage in active play throughout the day with a goal of at least 3 hours per day. Children and adolescents ages 6 through 17 should aim for 60 minutes or more of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day, and at least 3 days a week, including aerobic, muscle strengthening, and bone strengthening activities. Adults should strive for 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity every week, which is about 2.5 to 5 hours a week, and include muscle strengthening activities at least twice a week. Older adults, and that's 65 and older, should also aim for 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity physical exercise every week. They should also incorporate balance training and muscle strengthening activities. Adults and older adults with chronic conditions or disabilities are encouraged to work towards the same recommendations for physical activity if available. Again, please check in with your doctor or healthcare provider to figure out what the appropriate physical activity level is for you. Remember, the key to any age group is to avoid inactivity. Be physically active according to your abilities, because some activity is better than none. Even routine activities you do at home may count towards your activity goals, such as shoveling snow, which hopefully we're done with, working in the garden, which hopefully we'll be starting again soon, climbing stairs, or walking to the store. When it comes to being physically active and eating right, small changes matter. So remember, you don't need to do everything at once. And I know I've covered this pretty quickly, but you just need to pick one thing to start with and continue from there. You may find that the hardest part is just getting started. Discuss your goals with your family members, your coworkers, or your friends. They may be focusing on similar changes and can help you. You can also consult the nutrition experts. Registered dietitian nutritionists, otherwise called RDNs, provide sound, easy to follow, personalized nutrition advice to help meet your lifestyle, your preferences, and your health-related needs. So I also want to say that as your health coach, this is something that is very important to me. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to talk about this for a moment. Hi. This is very, very, very important to me, nutrition and food and physical activity. And if there is something that you want to get started with and you're really struggling with just that first push to get going, let's take, for example, that you're eating too much sugar and you really want to get a handle on that and you want to lessen the amount of sugar. That's going to help bring down cholesterol levels. It's going to help you lose weight. But it's not something that you think is easy and you think, how am I going to do this? That's where a health and wellness coach comes in. Through my coaching programs, we can take you through some very simple steps, such as the ones that I discussed here today. And we can take our time with that. We can add those in. We can add in easy steps, begin to eventually bring out the old and bring in some new steps that will help you to really eat better overall. And one of my programs that I focus on is called Wellness 360. And this is really taking into consideration everything that you have going on with your life. So food and nutrition and exercise are obviously very, very important parts of leading a healthy lifestyle. But there are other things involved that we can really dig deep into. So I want to invite you to take a few minutes, take 45 minutes with me, set up a time where we can have a wellness discovery session. And in this session, we will sit down, we will talk about your challenges. We'll figure out what it is that is really causing you to not be able to reach your goals. We'll talk about your challenges. We'll figure out how to overcome them. We'll create small steps over a period of time where you can really, really see some lasting changes. This isn't a quick fix. It's not going to be a quickie diet. It's not going to be a quickie exercise program that's going to make you lose weight very, very fast. That needs to be done over time. Okay, I'm just gonna say that that's very, very important. That needs to be done over time. You can have a goal and we can meet that. But I don't want to dive in with here's a quick pill and that's going to help you get over your weight loss and you're going to lose all this weight and you're going to be in great shape, because that's not a change that's going to last. So my goal with you as your coach is to really dive deep into what it is that you want to change and figure out the ways that we can change it. So I want to take a minute here to see if anybody has any questions. You should be able to have a little question box there that you can put a chat into. See if I can find the chat part there. If anybody wants to put a question in there, I would be happy to answer them. If there aren't any questions, that's great too, because I know this has been a really quick, little session, and you can go back and listen to the recording and kind of pick up some of the tips that I put in there. But I really want to encourage you to reach out to me so that we can really dive deep into any questions that you might have. Again, my wellness discovery sessions are completely free. They take about 45 minutes to an hour. We can do it over the phone, or if you are local here to Chicagoland, we can meet in person. So I really want to encourage you to do that. I'm going to be taking some appointments coming up here in the next couple of weeks, and we can really go ahead and get started and dive deep into what it is that you want to accomplish. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning. Again, I'm going to post some of the resources that I discussed in this quick webinar onto our Facebook group and onto my website. My website is www.holisticwellnesswoodridge.com. And we send out a monthly newsletter as well. So if you're interested in receiving that, just shoot me an email and I will add you to the email list, and we can go from there. Thank you again for taking the time to spend with me this morning. I appreciate it. And I look forward to helping you be happy and healthy and balanced. Have a great Friday.